I think it's like
Are we live? Late but always great. People, Deluded, I'm back again. Thank you very much for tuning back in each and every time. Good morning to those of you like myself in the United Kingdom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and in some cases, good night. There's something for everyone. Hope everyone's doing well and safe, you know, mentally, physically, spiritually, financially. Hope you've all got all aspects of your health. Hope you've all woken up, you know, with that fight, really, to have a good 2022. Obviously, Happy New Year once again to those of you that are out there. And yeah, wishing you lot the best on your goals, hopes, dreams, and aspirations. Not only what you've got for this week, but beyond. By God's grace, 2022 will be a fantastic year for all of us. Now, obviously, it's silly season in terms of the transfer market. And to be fair, I don't know how often I have to rate myself. Serious adaptability, man, because how many times are we going to sit here and speak about Ainsley Maitland-Niles to Roma, Vlahovic, and the rest of it? You know, don't shoot the messenger. We might as well just go over it, people. Obviously, like I said, we'll just go over the transfer stuff. I've got it all in front of me. Or have I? What's that in my emails? No, fuck you, man. Because he didn't reply for a month. I'm not replying for a month as well, blood. Now I don't know when that's going to get done, but I'm on this 50-cent petty thing. But pardon me. I hope everyone's doing well and safe. Sharky, you're always the first one here. I appreciate that. DG, they're great. I'm only great because you lot make me such, man. Or you lot are great. Oh, you know, without the supporters group, without the DG Nation, man, I'm not anything. So I appreciate all the members, moderators, subscribers, new viewers, long-time supporters, all of that sort of stuff. Make sure you're smashing the like button. Let's get to 100 likes quicker, sooner rather than later. That's the target. 4 p.m. Head over to Twitch. I'm playing Football Manager. On that topic, one love to everybody who is just there on Twitch with me. I'll re-upload them onto YouTube and whatnot. But we spoke about this Lukaku thing, the latest turn, Luke Shaw, and you know, it's always good to see Man United lose. I feel like this is an offer Arsenal made weeks ago, and we're only hearing about it now. I don't have a clue, man. I don't have a clue. What you saying, Edu masterclass of this deal goes, if this deal goes through, of course, man, you'd have to give him his credit where due, man. Premier League news, shout to you, man. One man said flawless Aubameyang impression. To be fair, man, you know, I'll pay my late fines. I'll pay my fines. As long as you lot know when it's match days, you lot never see me delay, man. Allow me. You lot crack me up as well, man. Lateness is greatness. You know, sometimes being late can save you, man. Do you know how many parties I've got too late? You found that it's been up and that, like, crazy. I hope everyone's doing well and safe this morning as well. As I said, man, let's run it up this year. Of course. You know, anything less than obtaining goals is unacceptable. I came at the right time. Yes, you did. It's calm, you, man. The advert starts at 11:30. IJ, chill out. Flawless about. To be fair, man. Allow me. What I lack in terms of tardiness is, you know, I don't know, man. We'll improve. That's on my list. I've started the year appallingly, and it's from stupid decisions, man. Because I was sat there at 11:20. I'm like, I'm gonna be late. I probably need to get on doing what I'm doing. I got time to do it, man. The tea's not going anywhere. I'm enjoying my ackee and saltfish, man. Them lot are gonna have to just sit there and wait, broski. I can't cap, man. Are you convinced by this Vlahovic Serie A tax is real? I mean, I don't know, man, because on one hand, I feel what everybody said. It's been 1.5 seasons, including now. It'll be 2 years if he ends it, you know. We've seen this before, you know. Respectfully, there is a tax, but I just feel there's something. And again, people say he's outperforming his expected goals. There's no way around that. And I agree with a lot of that. We've been here before, you know. Jovic had a great season. Piontek, you know. What's the other youth that's scoring goals again at Leverkusen? Schick, he come on the scene with a mad season once. I agree with all of that. I'll be kidding, you know. Only the reality is only time will tell. If he can do this thing for years, it is what it is. But to a degree, I'd say Arsenal have been taking risks, and ever since we've had to look after our finances, we've been doing a lot worse. But we kind of have to take these educated risks, or better yet, gambles, because if he proves to be the truth, he's been linked with Juventus and Real Madrid. We don't stand to get. We're probably not going to get him anyways. But just generally away from Vlahovic, we need to take these educated guesses, because before they get to that next level, if he shows that he's 30, boy, it's peak, innit? We ain't got a chance, really and truly. And obviously, if you get him now, you have him for a couple of seasons, we can build around him. But obviously, you could sell, man. You know, we need a striker, and I don't know what we're going to do in terms of a striker. But yeah, man, there's also that. But at the same time, I think he's different with it, man. I just feel, though he's 21, he don't look it. Don't move like it. Just feels like something's in the air from the. I don't know him religiously. I'm not a Florentina fan, but what I've seen, he scores a variety of goals. He's not the quickest, but he's strong. He does I wouldn't say he's got amazing general play, but he does have an appreciation to drop deep, try and start moves. It's not a Lacazette or a Firmino, but he's not just someone that's just going to stand in the area, as you know. You can't do that. So it would be an interesting one to see what we can do in that regards. Man said, well, is that DG merch? Of course it is, man. You know, make sure you're hitting up the store. I can't, you know, good looks sold separately, but you get it. Come on, appreciate that. Vlahovic, Giroud 2.0 myth. I think let's respect his thing a bit. You know, not that Giroud was a bad player, but it's just about educated risk. As long as Arsenal have done their homework, they know how they're going to use the guy. They know what his strengths and what his weaknesses are. Because at 21, he's not the finished article. You know, he's probably going to have to, you know, adapt at some period to the game and all of those sort of things. So we'll literally have to see. Good morning from LA, Deluded. It's 3:43, but I couldn't miss this stream. I appreciate that, Augustine. The great thing about YouTube, it will be here, man. Go to sleep, my guy, man. Go grab some sleep, man. 100% good look sold separately, man. Appreciate you for copying your mug. You know, get your DG mugs, man. Come on. Dark Arts. You man are on, man. Man said trailers at 11:30 cinema thing. You man are on me. Appreciate you lot nonetheless, man. But you lot by now, you should know if it's 11:30, not make sure you're coming here on time. But 11:33, you know, you're good in it. You're good. I don't do you lot 2 days. What's 7 minutes, man? That's longer than City's added on time against us, whether it should have happened or not, really, truly. Everyone was trying to flirt with Haaland Odegaard comments, bro. That's you lot, man. Listen, please, you lot, I'm going to leave the Haaland shouts to you. I'm not involved, man. You know, let's get Haaland after this Real Madrid thing. Don't bang. Maybe Agent Odegaard could do a madness. As long as the striker fits the system, that's the main thing. No more square pegs, facts. As long as you've done your homework. And for me, it's about playing to their strengths. Of course, you would need the striker to adapt. And at 21 years of age, Vlahovic wouldn't be the finished article. But if you find if you buy Vlahovic, obviously you can pull it in behind, but he doesn't strike me as one of them pacey strikers. So give him some service, pull it on his head, pull it on his chest, and all of those things. If you get Dominic Calvert-Lewin, the same thing. I don't think we're getting Vlahovic, but you know, we're allowed to have a conversation, and at base level, that's all it is. That's what half of Arsenal's transfer rumours are, really and truly, if I'm completely honest with you. I can't lie. As much as I like the hoodie, it's getting mad hot, people. Please make sure you're hitting the like button. Let's put that on the side quickly. Cushion that up. Let's grab some water as well. You know, I got COVID-19 deluded. I hope you get over that, man, and anyone else suffering. Happy New Year to you, May. Me personally, in this window, I'd get a centre mid. Wouldn't even mind getting Genie Ronaldo, that is, if you don't know what he's referring to on loan. Trust. Personally, I'm not going to say, I don't think necessarily it's true to say a midfielder is more important than a striker, or a striker is more important than a centre mid, because for the ball to go to the strikers, you need a certified midfielder. And obviously, the striker can score as many goals as you want. You know, at Arsenal, we've had times where we can score goals. We can't keep them out of the net. We can keep them out of our net. We can't necessarily score. I would, putting myself in Arteta's shoes and just my opinion, I'd be more happy to work with my striking options, my forward options, assuming people are here until May, than my midfield. Because I think on the best of days, I said it in the summer, we're gambling with our midfielders, their fitness, and just damn right their ability. You know, Partey bossed it against City. Partey bossed it against Spurs. You know, he's had some other games, but he's been up and down. Xhaka is an enigma in himself. Lokonga is still learning, and he's had some good and bad games. El Nene, again, you know what you're getting. He's a steady Eddie. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, we're at where we're at with him. I don't feel we've certified that midfield since the minute we brought in Partey, where we needed that number 6 box-to-box man, and we needed probably that number 8. So for me, I think we should be bringing in midfielders in January if we can, and them things there. If you can do something in January for a striker, why not, man? I'd actually like 2 strikers in general. Can you get one of these household names that every week and every day we're sitting here waffling about? And can you do the scouting thing? Because before Vlahovic, as I said yesterday, before Vlahovic done a thing, he has to have been he was at Partizan. You know, Partizan, when it comes to them them Serbian sort of players and these sort of guys, that's the club to look at. You've got to, we've got to try. It's easier said than done, but can we find Lewandowski when he's in Poland? The next one, can you find Vlahovic when he's at Partizan? Can you find Karim Adeyemi before the season goes all hot and stuff? Could you have taken a chance on Isak when he was robbed at Dortmund and loaned him out and done some things? We need to start looking where people are not looking, and we need, they say one man's trash is another man's treasure. We need to start looking at that. Respectfully, Chelsea didn't rate Salah. Look how it worked out for him eventually when they ended up at Liverpool. In fact, it's not the same, but Liverpool always take educated risks. People were turning up their nose about Mane. People were turning up their nose about Salah. People used to say Van Dijk, he's not ready, he's not 30, this and that, but it's worked out for them really, really and truly. So it's one of them ones, really and truly, man. Yo, Deluded, Happy New Year. Right back at you, Rob. What would be the amount for you to accept letting Oba go? Bro, peanuts, really, For peanuts, I don't think you're getting something 30 for Aubameyang, my guy, because the form is rubbed. There's now, rightly or wrongly, the form is rubbed. There's question marks as to, are you a good person or not? Are you a disruptive character? You're going to cost a lot of finances, whether they pay 50%, 100% of your wages, a loan or whatever. If it is a transfer, then you're going to have to pay a transfer fee on a 32-year-old. If it's a loan, you're going to have to spend the loan. You might grab him midway through the season, and ultimately, you might not get a return. I would say there isn't too much resale value from Aubameyang. I would like 20, 25 million, or 20 would be a fair fee. I think Arsenal would, I don't know, I'd drop that down to 15, maybe 10. It all depends how much do they want him off the books. And especially if you're not going to bring a striker in from now until the end of the season, I'd be wary of getting rid of Aubameyang. Now, if he's willing to get rid of Aubameyang and whatnot, then that tells you where they're at. But for me, we're in a good position as a team. We've had a long season. We've had 2 seasons in one. This has been a long season from Arsenal's perspective, and everything's going right now. Everything for at one point in the season, Aubameyang and Laka balanced the side. Everything's going good right now. Lacazette's doing his thing. The youngsters are doing his thing. But from now till May, it's a lot of football. People might lose form. People might also fall out of favor. People might get injured. So, we've seen people become villains and heroes throughout the whole season. Xhaka and Partey to a less degree symbolized that. So I'd be wary if there's a reality where some people get injured, you're going to need Aubameyang. And this is why I'm quite wary. When you get into January, it's difficult. Like for me, the following names I'm going to say, I'd be open to them leaving, but it's very difficult to advocate them leaving in January because you start tearing up the squad. I wouldn't be against Ainsley keeping it moving. I wouldn't be against El Nene keeping it moving. Lacazette has to stay, but in theory, because of the contract, I wouldn't be against him keeping it moving. There's a lot of these sort of players, but again, it's January. It's difficult. Even though we're not in Europe, there's a lot of games. You already see the big ups. We're going into a big run of fixtures now. We got Liverpool twice, Forest away on Sunday. You got Spurs to come. Again, you got to be wary. So if you're going to let Aubameyang leave, I would probably bring in a striker if you can. But this is where scouting is vital. This is where the minute Aubameyang signed that new deal or that season where it plagued on, you should have known who is going to replace Aubameyang if he left that year, or who's going to replace him in 2 years. This is where I'm saying with strikers, you might have looked at a striker across a 3-year period. You might have thought, Isak's not ready now. The next year he's developing. This year, let's move to him. That's what gives me a bit of confidence when I look at someone like Jonathan David, where I don't really rate him too highly. I think he's a very good player. I think he's having a good purple patch. I do like him a lot, but world-class potential, all these things that get put online, I don't really agree. But Arsenal have watched him from his Gent days. I don't know if that extends to the days in Canada if we've done our homework. So yeah, man, I think at best it's probably a loan with an obligation to buy for Aubameyang, and we might either have to tear up his contract. The only thing that would make you probably commit to signing Aubameyang if you're a prospective club is the form, really, because he would score goals. It's simply not worth it. And as you know, January is a difficult time. Everybody knows what they're trying to do with their season. So I don't know for Aubameyang, man. I don't know for Aubameyang. Big up, Kel. I see you put something here. From Black Flags, I guess, Pirate and that. Newcastle reportedly want to sign all of Rob Holding, El Nene, Aubameyang, and Nketiah from Arsenal. Hey, they listen to my streams. We got them deals there, blood. Come on. Hey, that Pablo Marie, fresh out the kitchen as well. We got hella things for you lot. Make sure you shout us. Where'd you find that? I'm getting gassed. I hope you're not pulling my leg pause because Batman not do them thing there. But, swear down, everyone's getting shotted. Let me type this in on Google. Someone drop the link, man. There must be something. There must be something. Where do you see that, man? Don't get me excited for no reason. Fire sales. Of course, Aubameyang, of course, they're not buying all of that, but don't get me excited, man. Where did you see that? Newcastle, Rob Holding. I'm desperately typing everything on Google trying to find this. Yeah. Oh, it's the Telegraph. I ain't subscribed to that. Fuck you lot, man. But anyways, according to the Telegraph, and I think I can't lie, they're not going to sign 4 players. That could probably save their season, you know. Let's pour hot water on it, really. You know, if I'm Aubameyang, if I'm Eddie, if I'm El Nene, if I'm Holding, you could, first things first, you could get some decent finances. Second of all, from Arsenal, they could all leave. There's a reality where I'm sure individually, Arsenal fans, let me share my screen, people, with you guys. There's a reality where Arsenal fans might say all of you lot could leave, but realistically, does that help us or make us weaker in January? You know, I know 2 of them players are going off to AFCON for a couple of weeks, but we need bodies. If we're not bringing a midfielder, and then it needs to stay to the end of the year. Aubameyang, again, I know he's public enemy number 1, but I'm very wary about injuries and whatnot. What happens if Martinelli gets injured? Lacazette said, what happens if an offer gets placed on Lacazette's table in January and says, I want to keep it moving? Injuries and people keeping it moving is something we need to consider. Rob Holding, again, you could become an important part of Newcastle. They're looking for a centre half. It's a big club. I don't know how far they're getting with Kevin Botman, but you know, you're clearly rated by Arteta. You're just not levels with Ben White and Gabriel at this moment. Saliba maybe next season. It's a peak one for you. But you do look important in the team. I'd want Holding to stay, but if offers individually got placed for all of them, I'd entertain it. We'd entertain Aubameyang for whatever. And Nketiah, his contract's running up. And Nketiah and El Nene, they're the first ones because their deals are running up. But it probably wouldn't make sense for Arsenal to sell them all. Again, all of them are gonna, you know, some of, you know, Nene and Eddie in particular, you can't really chat shit Holding as well. If Newcastle get relegated, it's irrelevant because you should still be doing your thing there. Hit the like button, people. There's 246 locked in, but you don't know where they're gonna be. You know, okay, they've just taken over, but we've all seen it at clubs before. You know, an owner might sack Eddie Howe next season and things could be brazy there and the turnaround could be crazy. So if they want them, or if they want one of them, you know, I'd say out of all of them, I'd rather Aubameyang and Nketiah be moved to Newcastle because I just hate this drama that's going on with Aubameyang, and he's got to eventually come back from AFCON. One wonders how can he agree and move away during AFCON, or one wonders what happens then for the rest of the season. And Nketiah, we stand the risk of losing him for free in it, so let him go and join Joe Willock and former Halen Boy and Isaac Hayden and things like that. El Nene, I'd probably just let you run down your deal, but again, they put a 7 to 10 million pounds on the table. I'm letting you go. You know, you factor in these lot, and then you throw in Ainsley Maitland-Niles potentially going to Roma. You're mashing up the squad. That it's a fallacy, really. But allegedly, it's claimed that El Nene has been scouted intensively. Rob, where hell you watching El Nene's backward passes, meaning a move for Aubameyang is described as unlikely due to his wage demands and his presence at AFCON. And Nketiah, you know what? Wolves struggle to score goals. Wolves and Nketiah, you might be able to do a thing. Apparently, none of the 4 players are playing on a regular basis for Mikel Arteta. Maybe this is where the article has come out. So yeah, it is what it is. And Nketiah could be a good offer. You heard he was in talks with Leverkusen, so I don't know what's going on there. But yeah, it'd be a big club for Newcastle. But you need to ask yourself, Eddie, are you going to play? Newcastle are a club that know about their strikers, you know, Les Ferdinand, Shearer, or even Demba Ba and Cisse. Can you know, be a big club to show you can do a thing? Do you start ahead of a fit Callum Wilson? Maybe you start with him in a 4-4-2 or something. Maybe with you playing off the wing at times with Arteta, you showed some adaptability. But do you start? That's the problem. Do you even start at Leverkusen if you go there? Because unless they sell my man who's bagging, do you start at Wolves ahead of Jimenez? Do you start at Brighton ahead of Mupé? He's got 7 goals this season. Do you start at Newcastle? It could be a big club. You'll be part of the squad, but he probably needs to go Germany if he wants to be a main player like that. You've been linked with Palace. Do you start at Palace? You know, we need players for the squad. I'm a Holding fan, in it. Like, he's not the best, but I like him, innit? He's better than Cannavaro. Holding's my guy. That being said, if there's an opportunity to make a young profit, I'm on it, people. I'm not sitting here and capping to you lot, really and truly. You know, big up you lot for you lot's comments. We need to make good, educated risks. I don't want to make 2 or 3 seasons. The team around us are only going to get stronger. Exactly, but that's where we need to find players that fit into the system. Now, obviously, I might have I don't know. Let's just say my system finds that, you know, I have a tick-a-tacker sort of football, and I find the next Mo Salah. Now, Mo Salah does the way Mo Salah plays. He can do it, but it doesn't tie into that system and that philosophy. What I mean is there's exceptions to the rule, but generally We need to have a system and then find players. It feels like at Arsenal, we sign players and then we either expect them to work it out. Like, you're a centre-back, go defend. You're a winger, go and do your winging stuff. You're a striker, go and score goals. You know, it feels like we do that. We need to have our system, which we've got, and then find players that identify. You know, a lot of some mediocre players, the system can hide them and make them better for us. If I'm real with you, you know, really and truly. So we need to pattern up in that regard. You look at Jota at Liverpool. How's he able to step up? So if we can find players for the system, which, based on last summer, I have to give Mikel Arteta that credit, because say what you want, it's the system, ball playing centre halves. You look at who's played the most passes at Arsenal in the league so far. Looking at it yesterday, Gabriel and Ben White. Who's made the most tackles? TOMIYASU. And you're seeing what the three names I've said have tied in. You know, Ramsdale. You know what Ramsdale's on. He's up there for clean sheets. It could be better. And the rest, when I see things like this, it gives me more confidence. That was our first decent summer in a while. The only thing I would say it's overshadowed by was potentially outgoings. And for me, not bringing in that midfielder who can do what Xhaka does to another level. I think we bottled that to go with Xhaka's move to Roma, just not banging. Ronaldo would be a good option. I wouldn't want to give up on my PSG thing. You know, I don't want to go from being on the verge of being included in a squad mid-season, Real Madrid, to nothing. I don't think anyone's fallen off that far for if Ronaldo comes to Arsenal since Rafa Benitez, respectfully Newcastle. Did he not go from from Real Madrid to Newcastle in a couple of months? That's an idiot thing. 300 of you locked in, people. Unexpected high bills. There's still only 98 likes. What's going on, man? You lot doing the guy dirty. I hope all is better with UP. Holding was good until Rashford injured the lad. He's still good, man. He's still good, man. Let's go. Don't trust that DG. Of course, I'm not trusted. I'm getting excited, man. It's hella cap, but allow me to be excited, man. And then I all forgot. You got that Chambers, that Marie, Kolasinac is linked with Marseille on a free. You know, hopefully, you know what, if you know what, Kolasinac agree, you'll move to Marseille for free. Let's let him go off to Watford and get a little loan fee. Let him do what he's doing there, man. We need to make some bread in this game, man. Keep Aubameyang for a season. We don't have enough depth to be selling these players in January. I would probably keep Aubameyang until the end of to the end of May, sorry. And, you know, clearly Arteta was counting on Aubameyang for ability. Some of it's with attitude. Now, if Arteta wants to write him off and he doesn't believe this the case, then right now, everything he's doing is working. But yeah, man, and we got to remember it's a squad game. And I think if you look at last season, look at the way Pepe started it and ended it. Look at the way Lacazette started it and ended it. Look at several other cases as well with several other players, really. You know, none of our players have been good from, the young G's, we even this season got a lot of things. But I'm not criticizing anyone. Very few players are going to be 30 from August until May. I knew Edu wasn't setting a target at the beginning of the season, but we are in a position to capitalize. We are fourth. I'm looking at you, Josh Kroenke, DG. Fair play. He starts in the champs. Let him do his thing. And Nketiah or Wilson. Wilson's probably got more to his game. And maybe Eddie Nketiah's bubble needs to get burst. He needs to probably understand that you're not 30 like that. You're going to have to develop and whatnot. Dominic Calvert-Lewin will take us to the top three. Ugh. I hear you, man. I hear you. Happy New Year, Deluded. Would you ever do work with RJ Arsenal blog? Why not, man? He's a cool guy. Why not? Not too sure about Vlahovic taking pens away. His scoring record isn't as great as people make out. Boy. Good morning, DG. Just got into the stream. Speaking of the first topic with Holding, or have you spoken about Vlahovic already? You come at the right time, man. You come at the right time. Shout out to you lot. Again, any information you lot find online, keep them coming, man. DG, I'd sell Aubameyang tomorrow if possible. You don't want it turned into an Ozil situation where transfers aren't happening because wages is too high. That's already it. That's already it. You know, you've given him the deal. The form's on the floor. The wages are sky high. There's rumors about, you know, playing devil's advocate, rumors about you and the manager not seeing eye to eye. You probably have to tear up his contract or whatever, you know. And again, you have to, you know, it's all fun and games saying selling him to Newcastle, but Aubameyang has to want to do that really and truly. You want Grealish because he's crap. That's harsh, but I'll take Grealish. Grealish a baller still. You know, it's easier said than done. People have got to want to buy Aubameyang. Who knows? Even in hindsight, you know, when Aubameyang was in form and we was begging him to sign a new contract, was the interest from other clubs as big as publicized? I don't know. We should get Basuma. Why not, man? Why not? But for me, Basuma is probably a one in the summer because he's contracted until 2023. Who knows? Maybe some P's and Maitland-Niles might make that one happen there. Of course, I would like Basuma in Jan, but it's not going to happen, is it? And to be fair with you, in January, I'd like a number 8, which isn't exactly Basuma's strength. We shouldn't have to chase players to come. They should want to come. Can't be out here being needy. That's how you don't get what you want. That's true in life. But, you know, we're not Bayern Munich, Barcelona, these sort of teams where they're just going to come to us. Bear man are saying he scored 5 pens. Watch him play. Stop being stat merchants. But to be honest, even the pens gives me confidence, bro. Like, we're not exactly bagging our penalties. You know, Aubameyang and Laka ain't exactly been the most clinical in the pens we've won this season. In your opinion, who is the better finisher, Mbappe or Haaland? Finisher, Haaland. Player, currently Mbappe for me. I'm good, my guy. I hope you lot are doing better. Big up the Bulgarians locked in. Appreciate you lot. Keep running up the likes if you haven't. Put a mental note in your minds, people. 4 p.m. we move over to Twitch and things like that. Have you seen Ray Parler trying to say City need to sign Saka, and apparently it's going to be hard for Arteta to keep him? I mean, in a couple of years it might be, or you know, when Saka the penny drops that I need to develop. But for right now, I don't think we need to worry about it, man. It is what it is. Pukki is the man you need. I'll take your opinion, Mr. Smith, man. I'll take your opinion, man. I'll take your opinion. I trust that you want the right thing for Arsenal Football Club with them sort of comments there. But anyways, where should we start? I don't even know where to start with this Vlahovic-ish, people. There's hella things going on. For what it's worth, again, now people are saying different things. Vlahovic is open to everything. He's shut down Arsenal. Arsenal bidded. They're offering Torreira and money. We're doing this, we're doing that. Torreira's actually just going to sign for 15 million euros. A lot of things is being said, and I don't know if Samuel Mead knows anything. He might just be waffling. But first things first, apparently Vlahovic responds to Arsenal's transfer interest and outlines future ambitions. He scored his 33rd goal in the calendar year recently. Arsenal keen on the 21-year-old. Let's see exactly what happened. You know, he said, I have stated this several times so far. A beautiful football story is being made here in Florence. We have a good team. They're fighting for Europe. We have big up the 400 of you locked in. Hit the like button. We have a good team, great football players, great support from the fans. It all deserves respect. Only God knows what will happen in the next period. My wish is to bring Fiorentina to Europe because we have not been in Europe for a long time. So that tells me he either wants to stay for another year and experience what it's like with Florence in Europe, or that tells me, do you know what? I want to have a big season. I don't want to leave like a coward midway through the campaign. I want to help them get Europe and then, you know what, leave with my head held high sort of thing. I don't know. He said, I don't know what can happen overnight. We'll see. And he's rejected all sorts of offers, people. As the CEO said, we offered Vlahovic the highest contract ever in the history of Fiorentina several times. Both Dusan and his agent made us realize they do not want to accept. Our bid is still on the table. Vlahovic has said never say never about the possibility of extending his deal. Of course he's going to, people. Arteta said we're expecting some activity because there are some players and a few loans that hopefully we have to complete. So there's a few number of loan players that are going to keep it moving, man. It is what it is. So that's that. Let's keep it moving. For what it's worth, as you look, well, that's Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Where's the other one? Oh, that's again Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I'm sure I had something where Romano spoke of it. So that's the first one. You know, and again, for what it's worth here, people, according to this publication, Arsenal have made a new... Sorry, people, man. These videos put me off, man. Arsenal have made a new bid to sign Dusan Vlahovic in January. The Gunners are looking for a new centre forward as Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is tipped to leave the Emirates Stadium. Yeah, we know how good the 21-year-old is. We know how prolific he's been. We know all about the record. According to this publication, they've once again knocked on Fiorentina's door with a new proposal, 55 million euros plus Lucas Torreira, who actually joined the club on loan with an option to buy. Fiorentina would need to pay 50 million euros to sign the Uruguayan permanently, and I hope we've got a sell-on clause if this deal with money plus him isn't to be said, because imagine they've got him for 50 million. Torreira still isn't the oldest. He might settle down roots and move to a bigger Italian team or take another bite of another league's cherry again. Yeah, man. So 55 million plus Torreira. Apparently, the total cost for signing Vlahovic could be in the region of 70 million euros. So that's about 60 and some change. The Tuscans are considering the offer, but Vlahovic doesn't seem willing to join Arsenal. So yeah, man, it's like I keep chatting to a girl that wants nothing to do with you. She said, leave her alone. Start asking for the number. He said, never say never. You know, I think he'd be open to signing for Arsenal and Spurs. I just don't think we're up on his list, and rightly so. If you got Real Madrid and these, you're not trying to hear it, and yeah, man, just move on, really. as we said, people, Arsenal make player plus cash offer to sign Vlahovic immediately. So yeah, you can see everyone is adding their personal little spin on this sort of thing, people. So it is what it is. Away from that, though, apparently, Arsenal have urged European clubs to sign Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang after being frozen out of Mikel Arteta's squad. But the Gunners fear his value has plummeted after he was stripped of the captaincy. You reckon? As we know, his future at the club has become even more uncertain, probably relying on his agent to do a madness. Again, apparently, more uncertain as European clubs have been informed of the unsettled striker's availability. Sportsmail have also learned that Kolasinac and Ainsley Maitland-Niles are set to leave the club. You know, hopefully we bring in a midfielder. To be fair with you, if you could get Aubameyang and Kolasinac off the wage structure, either temporarily or permanently, it would make a big difference. Kolasinac is probably one of the highest earners beyond the obvious players at the Emirates. He's on 100k a week. He's technically earning more than Saka. Now, obviously, Kolasinac came into Arsenal in the Bundesliga Team of the Year, and then Watson Saka's come through the academy. But this tells you what we're talking about: mismanagement of wages. You know, no one put a gun to Kolasinac. No one put a gun to Arsenal's head to agree to that. But it's not just big money signings; it's the contracts we give out and then try and move people on. It's the sometimes it's the Maries and Cedrics. You get what you pay for. William, these things turn out to be expensive as well. Please make sure you're hitting the like button, people. We know Aubameyang was frozen out. We know he's been sent to train early with Gabon for the AFCON. Apparently, his long-term future under Mikel Arteta is looking bleaker, people. With recruitment staff at a number of the continent's top clubs understood to have been made aware of the potential opportunity to sign Aubameyang. I mean, Chelsea tried to sign him. Would we do that? His participation in Africa is... His participation in the African Cup of Nations, would be a better way to put it, is likely to complicate any potential deal before the January window shuts, but the path for his eventual exit is being cleared. We all know he's on big money or provide a massive thingy and whatnot. Apparently, meanwhile, Ainsley Maitland-Niles will hold talks this week with Arteta ahead of a potential move to Roma. Keep it moving. With Arteta being better after COVID and Edu returning on holiday, you probably will see some more progress in terms of incomings and outcomings, people. So, yeah, it's spoken about, Kolasinac is wanted by Marseille. He's got 6 months left on his deal. Ainsley, Roma, 1 minute we hear it's going to happen. It's not. Just like the Xhaka stuff. And ultimately, there's a lot. Aubameyang's being linked with a lot of clubs. Fundamentally, no one appears willing to do what they're doing to give him the peas, really and truly. On that, if we take a quick glance to the Athletic, Roma submit a loan offer with option to buy for Arsenal's Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Roma have submitted an option to take Ainsley Maitland-Niles on loan until the end of the season with a purchase option to the with an option to purchase the midfielder in the summer. If he's not going with an obligation to buy Myth, let him go with no purchase option. Let him go play well there. He puts himself in the shop window for Roma to renegotiate with us, or he comes back and is sold to a Prem team for more money, really and truly, because again, people see this as a gold mine, really. Ainsley's contracted until 2023. Once again, there's no coincidence. There's been little to no talk of a new deal, people. So, yeah, apparently, as of yet, there's been no response from Arsenal to the bid, which made in recent days following dialogue between the clubs. So until we respond, for whatever reason, maybe that's because Edu and Arteta are away, there's nothing there. Obviously, I don't really want Ainsley to go unless we're going to bring in a midfielder because we're down to our bare bones. Roma would prefer to buy Ainsley Maitland-Niles in this transfer window, but not in a financial position to do so. Get out of it then. I want a Lamborghini. I'm not in a financial position to do so. Come out the showroom then. Simple as that, Therefore, their plan is to sell 3 men between now and the summer: Paul Lopez, Justin Cliver, and Senji Zunda, to raise the capital to try and sign the 24-year-old permanently. Come on now. Anyways, all 3 are performing well on loan spells away from it. So until they have bread, we can't get our bread. The Serie A side want the proposed Ainsley Maitland-Niles to go through immediately, as they have crucial fixtures against AC Milan and Juventus this week and do not feel in a position to wait. But as keen as Roma and head coach Jose Mourinho are on recruiting Ainsley Maitland-Niles, it's thought they will turn their focus to alternative targets if a swift agreement cannot be reached. So they're trying to strong arm us because they've got games, they've got other targets. Arsenal are not in for whatever reason, we're not in a rush to respond to them. I'm sure Arsenal and Roma haven't had the best of relationships and all these things. So it is what it is, people. Their position 6th place. For what it's worth, it'd be a good move for Ainsley. I think James Ollie said Ainsley Maitland-Niles either wants to go to Roma or stay at Arsenal. So what does that tell you, man? That tells you we're in a position of weakness, really. So it is what it is. My thing would be Ainsley to get more football here or go out on loan, and then next summer he'd have a year left on his deal. Hopefully we put him into the shop window, man. They want him on tick 100%, bro. They want it on Connie, and they have no intent. They're gonna finesse the plug, man. And the thing is, people are gonna make peas. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is 24. If they get him for 8 to 10 million euros, they will sell him back to England for 20. It's like Eddie Nketiah. He's gonna leave for free or a nominal fee. And if he goes for free to them German teams, whether he's successful or not, they will make a decent change on him. So let's just hope they sell on close, man. It's not Roma, it's Jose Mourinho's relationship. How? Jose wanted Xhaka, you know. I don't think we're not going to deal with Roma because Jose's there. It's clearly down to dotting I's and crossing T's. It weren't happening, man. It's one of them ones, really. So removing the Ainsley Maitland-Niles thing, that's Maitland-Niles, that's Vlahovic, you know. What else is there? And apparently Fabrizio Romano said AS Roma are still waiting for Arsenal's decision over Ainsley Maitland-Niles. Proposal made days ago, loan with buy option for 10 million euros on the table, no obligation included. And to be fair, Ainsley, it's the same thing with Nketiah. So I don't think there should be a buy option. It's obligation or nothing, really and truly. There's no option because that don't help us. Jose wants him, but the deal's still not fully agreed between the two clubs. This week will be key. So hopefully we see some progress there. But again, you know, we've got 3 tough fixtures. So if you don't bring in a midfielder, you lot are playing a very dangerous game, in my opinion. You know, I don't know football more than you lot, but boy, you know, I think on the best of days, midfielders where on top of the obvious is where Arsenal's season was going to make or break and whatnot. Apparently, to go back over stuff, Arsenal trying let me share my screen. What's going on here? Arsenal trying everything to get player to sign for them. Mind-boggling Gunners offers made. Dusan Vlahovic and Arsenal continue to be a theme in the Italian media, and whether it's Xhaka going to Roma, Ainsley going to Roma, the whole Locatelli fiasco, and now this, boy, maybe we should leave Italian-based prospects alone. Doesn't seem like the media rates us. Initially, the slant was that the striker didn't want to sign for the London club at all. However, that's gradually changed to a start that he doesn't want to sign for anyone in the winter market. Instead, Vlahovic would prefer to stay at Fiorentina until the end of the season. At that point, he'll go through the offers he hopes he'll receive for a big move, and it's not ruled out that he'll consider Arsenal at that point. Regardless of all of that, this Italian publication says the Premier League club has been trying everything to get the Serbian to change his mind about a winter move. That includes making mind-boggling offers to Fiorentina, but it's not the Serie A club who need convincing. They'd much rather sell their star to Arsenal than wait and give Juventus a chance at the deal. As long as there are no sensational and unpredictable shocks, then Vlahovic will stay where he is at until the summer, people. So it is what it is there, innit? Smack the like button if you haven't done such, people. Let's actually make sure we've put that in. So let's say Arsenal transfer news. Slap that there. What are you lot saying? DG, would you keep Aubameyang so Newcastle go down? I don't think it's the same, really, but not that. Appreciate the Antigans locked in. I feel like this Duslan guy will end up at Bayern, but hey, they need a striker. Why not, man? I'd honestly take a player like David because his all-round game is decent and he looks like he's improving. Might depend on champ football come the end of the season. Probably, my guy. Tony would be interesting. His link-up play is elite and he can score prolifically. In the Premier League, you can't really describe Ivan Tony as a prolific goal scorer, really, but the link-up play and the mentality would be elite. I would be on Tony for a decent fee, provided we sign a striker that I feel can do the job to go with Tony in the squad. I'd be wary of Ivan Tony to replace historically what Aubameyang's doing, man. Rejecting the Wolves bid was such a bad choice, and Everton. Why don't we have 200 likes on them? Fuck Vlahovic moving like he's Haaland. Allow it. He's not done anything. He's allowed to have his own thing. I mean, we can't look at this on an emotional one. He's allowed to, you know, it's a difficult. The next move is your significant one, really and truly. I can't blame him for not wanting to leave in January. Arsenal's best chance is probably in January because it seems like Juventus are broken. You know, these lot are going to find dodgy accountants from now to the summer. Send Aubameyang out on loan and see what he's got left, I reckon. I mean, he's hardly 22. Just selling him to get him out of the club, really and truly, but it don't really make much sense. Like, whatever we do with Aubameyang, we're holding an L because unless you bring in a striker in January, because you're gonna, you know, I hope it's never the case, but you're asking a lot. You're asking your squad to stay fit. You gave him a new deal. If you tear it up or whatever, it's just like the Ozil thing. It's got another way, just like the Ozil thing in terms of the manager. It's all an L for Arsenal. Whether we keep Aubameyang or not, really. Just hope we learn from this. Do you think Arsenal will get top four? It's down to them, man. And of course, again, the winter market notoriously is very difficult to do business. Whether we're able to do such or not is another thing. 500 of you locked in, 177 likes. If you haven't hit the like button, unexpected high bills due. Arsenal not signing a damn thing. Any news on Renato? Not that I can see. Any news on Bruno Guimaraes apart from what we spoke about prior? Nope. I would like to see Isaac with Laka until the summer. We're not getting Isaac in Jan, I don't think. Then we get someone else to partner Isaac in the summer if Laka leaves. I would hope that to be the case, but looks a myth, man. Allegedly, Renato is going AC Milan. Allegedly, so boy. Winter market is hard to get very good players on a permanent deal. Harder than others. Best we can get is a loan for a decent option. I wouldn't say loans everything you can do, but of course it's difficult because nobody wants to sell players and everybody's trying to sell players that are not happy with their situation and they're not necessarily the most desirable of players. And the one few desirable players that are available, you probably have to overpay. So there you have it. Crazy one. Just need to buy Bruno Guimaraes and bring in Genie on loan. This striker talk is dead until summer. Wait. Do you reckon we should go for Donny van der Beek this window? You could try inquire, but I don't think that United are going to sell him to us. Isaac would be good, but he's not that amazing of a finisher and he's pretty bad aerially, so Tierney's crosses would be wasted again. Charles Man said Pukki at Arsenal. Defo trolling. But I'll take his word for it. Douglas Luiz at Villa is a player. We've been linked with him. Why not bring him out? Bring him through, man. Why not? Dominic Calvert-Lewin is not elegant. He has a certain awkwardness, and I'm not convinced he's a 20-goal-a-season baller. 50 million for Ivan Toney. Ooh. You know, the only thing with Ivan Toney is goals. We're going to, if we signed Ivan Toney tomorrow, he's only 25. It's the same shit with Lacazette. Like, link up play, pressing, all them things are good, but man need to bring goals, really. We either have goal scorers who can't do the general play thing, or we've got guys that have the general play but are not levels to really get the goals. As good as he's been, he's got the same amount of goals this season as Aubameyang. 4 goals in the league. Like, that's dead, man. I like Ivan Toney, and he probably would score more goals, and he has been clinical at Peterborough and Brentford, but in the Premier League, and it's his first year at 25, that's a myth. 50 million for that, and midway through the season, Brentford are not letting one of their key players go. That's a myth. 19 appearances, 5 goals, 3 assists. It's not the best. It's not the worst either. And to be fair with you, nah, man, I'm not really for it, man. I'm not really for it. I like Ivan Toney. I'd be open on bringing him into the squad for an affordable fee, but as becoming our goal scorer, this is a myth, man. 19 Premier League appearances, 4 goals. Again, he scored 4 times in the league, and again, played well against us. And I'm not saying you need to score all the time, but come on now, man. Come on. He played well against Liverpool as well. He's a good player, but come on now, man. You lot Arsenal fans, you're not going to accept these goal scoring droughts. Lacazette's doing all right now because Saka, Smith Rowe, these guys are scoring. If they're not bagging, what are people going to say? It's meaty, bro. By the time Ivan Toney can prove he can score 20 league goals, we might not be here. It's just the only thing is goals. We can't be spending 50 million for 5 goals. I'm sorry. Poker game, get someone now or bank on getting Champions League and unlock top tier targets in the summer. Boy. We need 1 permanent loan, then I'll take a little. We need 1 permanent transfer, then I'll take a little loan. Boy. I can't lie, I've been a bit underwhelmed with the names we've been linked with, man. Who would your dream signing be? Messi. The fact that man says Vlahovic scoring is overrated, then say they want Isaac is crazy to me. Boy. Genuinely think Balogun should be given a chance. I think he could do something and get us 10, 15 a season, maybe, but he's never played 10, 15 games. And to be honest, if you slap him in the lineup now, I'm not saying you're wrong, considering we're fourth and it's neck and neck and we've got all these big games. If Balogun doesn't score, fans are not going to care that he's young. Of course, I would love Balogun to get a chance, but it's also not healthy. Just let the man go out on loan. You know, he's clearly not ready. He has a lot of ability. He's clearly not ready. Let the man go out on loan, settle down some roots, get away from the pressure, because Arsenal fans, it is, you know, they'll gash you up one game, you're shit the next. You know, get away from that and keep it moving, man. Exactly. Get someone who can improve the squad. Thoughts on Coutinho, good player, but too much finances away from that, man. Can someone explain to me this Ivan Toney hype? You man in the chat gas him every day like he's the next coming of Andy Cole. He's a good player. But yeah, man, to solve Arsenal's goal scoring problems, you're gonna say the same things about Lacazette. Like, then man are gonna start saying, "Oh, Ivan Toney works hard. He understands the club. He works hard." I get it. I'm not getting at that. But that's overcompensating. Working hard, link up play, being good for the young players. It should be a given. It shouldn't always be used when we like a player and we're overcompensating. Arsenal are making a new offer for Dusan Vlahovic, 55 million in installments, and the sale of Lucas Torreira, which is close to 50 million. The London club want the player. The player's preference is ending. Boy, we'll have to see, man. We might be being taken around the houses like with the Locatelli thing. So again, when these sort of man like I almost always say, and some of you that are pessimistic on Arsenal transfers like myself, I didn't think Aubameyang was signing. When the guy's holding the Arsenal shirt, when I see him doing all of that, people, then it's cool. When I see Arsenal fans tracking planes or tracking gardening companies or window seal makers, you know how Arsenal fans move mad, then I'll start to believe it, man. Right now, it's a lot of smoke and mirrors and all these things, man. I don't have any preferences in January. The preferences I would like, Sam, we can't do, man. We can't bring in Adeyemi, all these things. Charles understands the club, all this bullshit, man. I used to do it as well, man. Overcompensate. He's dead, man. Thoughts on David? I like him. He's turning up his level, if that makes sense. Out of all the names we've been linked with, I feel him the least, excluding Tony. I'd rather bring him in than Tony, but Tony's probably got more to his game than Jonathan. What do you think of Julian Alvarez? Player, man. Big player. I did a video on him. Big player. Why so keen to sell Lucas Torreira? The guy is class, fam, and needs a chance. He's a myth. He's not going to get a chance. Arteta don't feel you. There's question marks over if you settled in England. Arteta don't feel you. You're contracted until 2023. If it was just on ability, I would like to rear apart the squad, but it's not that. So keep it moving or losing for free next year. It's a myth. DG, would you rather Adeyemi than Vlahovic? Why? Because I think Adeyemi's a baller still. When did you discover Adeyemi? He played in the youth league against, it might have been Spurs, you know, for his team. Shamaka looks decent still. Seems like Juventus on him. Will we beat Spurs without Partey? I don't know, bro. Darwin Núñez, another certified option for me. You know, Ivan Toney and Darwin Núñez probably cost the same fee. And I know which one I'd rather go for. I would, if you could find a certified, like let's just say in an imaginary world, for me, I would like Vlahovic to sign, and then I would like a striker like Ivan Toney because I think he replaces Laka. I would like him to get goals, but then I think throughout the course of the season, you've got a hold up man, you've got a rotation option. It's just if we need to rely on you for goals, you're not the guy. I definitely didn't discover everyone, bro. There's very few players, and I've actually been slacking really. I just happened to be watching the game. And I just like what I saw. Torreira plays best when he's happy, just like everyone, innit? So stay over there in Italy, be happy. If you're not going to be happy here, keep it moving. Like, it is what it is, man. Why can I see panic buying someone like Jimenez from Wolves? I don't think we'll do that, personally. And it's all like Wolves struggle to score goals. Are they going to get rid of their only proper out and out striker? I know they've got Fabio Silva, but doesn't appear that he's the most highly rated of individuals there. Keep smashing up the like button and hitting the subscribe and follows if you haven't. If we get Wijnaldum in before the Spurs game, that would be good. It might, but it's looking like a myth. I want us to sign Gabby Barbosa over West Ham. I mean, Stephen, I think he's a good player, but I don't think we're going to miss much. I hope he bangs at West Ham, but yeah, man. We need to get rid of Xhaka to move forward. Hopefully he's gone in the summer. I think so, and I don't think it's necessarily because of Xhaka. And I know I'm saying that with all his errors. It's just Arteta's insistence on building the team around players like this. It's gonna, it's gonna harm the progress because again, Xhaka had a decent game against City, but fundamentally, it's another one where he's involved in nonsense really. And when you keep progressing with players like this, they're gonna play well at several periods, but they're gonna keep costing you in games and whatnot. So how can you really move forward? And that's why I was excited the most last summer, because it's not that I was against Xhaka. It just felt with Xhaka putting down the move to want to go Rome or putting down that marker, it felt that the club would be forced to move on from that really and truly. In a way, like Bellerin saying he wanted to leave, it kind of forced us to move on, man. I would love Ruben Neves, but again, it's a myth getting him. It's a myth getting him in Jan. It's a myth getting him. Respectfully, Jack, you keep asking me the same question about Aubameyang and Newcastle going down. The two are not intersected. That's all I will say. Wijnaldum goes against Project Youth the club are trying to build. It probably does. It does. But at the same time, there should always be exceptions to the rules. As much as you want a philosophy and things, you start to miss out on players. You look at it nowadays, everybody loves these Jadon Sanchos and these street ballers and these, these guys that can do the skillers and Saka and all of the, I had to plug him and do all of those things. You go back at Ize as well. You go back a few years, coaches, scouts, they didn't want that. They saw them as uncoachable. And the ones that could coach, it was coached out. It was coached out of their game. So yeah, it's a dodgy one. You kind of have to, judge players on what they're about and know how to build them on top of that, man. Is this offer legit? I mean, it looks like transfer speculation. I don't know, man. Defo need an XP in the middle of the pot. And so, yeah, I wouldn't be against bringing in Wijnaldum. When you have rigid rules, you miss individuals and things like that. And you need experience. Again, ironically, as good as it is with our youth, I think our experienced players, like the ones that are the older ones, they're the ones that are kind of failing us, really. Because Aubameyang's hot and cold. Lacazette, good player, hot and cold, not really doing the business in front of goal for all the link-up play. Partey's turned a corner against City, but there's been a mixed one. It's our experienced players, so we do need experience. And if we could give Wijnaldum a platform, why not? If I was Wijnaldum 6 or so months into this PSG thing, I wouldn't give up on it yet. It would be quite the fall from grace. Now, if you're not playing, you're not playing, but I wouldn't give up on it yet. Anything's better than an Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain loan, eh? I'm only taking that if we're mega, mega desperate. Maitland-Niles is gone. El Nene's at AFCON. The next man is gone, and we're not bringing anyone else in. I'm on that. Just because of desperation. Like I said, desperation. And Nkunku needs to come to the carpet. I mean, Emre, he tried to get Fabinho. He tried to get Nkunku. He tried to get Partey them times. It might not have been the most expansive and creative, but imagine them roles. Neto for summer. Martinelli front next season. Would you be rather unhappy at Would you rather an unhappy Vlahovic at Arsenal or an unhappy Isak at Arsenal? I mean, we don't know whether he'd be unhappy or not. If he signs for the club, he signs for the club. Of course, I'd rather happy players than unhappy players. Mahrez, nothing, brother. Let's just hope Arteta and Edu have something made for us. Genie can be good for young players, also like Thiago Silva at Chelsea. I hear it. I do find myself going back and looking at your old videos of players you've talked about. The babyface DG was on a Michelin type thing. I'll soon be back, man. I've fallen off, but I'll soon come back, man. You can't always find players. I just like to watch football. I've been slacking. I don't want Ox either, but if we're desperate, we're desperate. I'm hoping Haaland is watching our youth program and changes his mind at the end of the season. I mean, he's been in a youth program at Dortmund. He's been at Salzburg. I'm sure I'd want to just join a team that's going to win shit and be part of stuff. And whose youthful program is better, ours or Real Madrid's? It's Real Madrid's. They got Vinicius there. You got an experienced Benzema. They're buying all the kids linked with Gravenberch. Camavinga's there. A couple other men that I haven't said are there and will be arriving. Mbappe and Haaland. Young G's taking it to the top. Managed by, at this moment in time, the experienced, Carlo Ancelotti. That's a way better youth experience thing, man. Send me to Napoli. I'll bring back a proper striker. Do your thing, man. Would you rather? I mean, of course, I'd rather Bruno Guimaraes on a permanent than Wijnaldum on loan. I'm not sure Alan from Everton helps us. It gives us a midfield presence, but that's another combative figure. That's someone who can't really pass the ball going forward. Or, of course, he can. That's just not his strengths. So we're back in square one, really and truly. You know, if we're looking at Partey, Lokonga to play, make Ainsley, Maitland-Niles, and to go with that, Xhaka, who needs a million years on the ball, anytime pressed, there's problems. This is, and I'm not trying to get them. These are just facts, in my opinion. But hey, you're not going to see much. You're not going to see much, really and truly. Is it any coincidence? To be fair, Xhaka and Partey have come in and we're scoring a bit more goals. You look at Lokonga and Ainsley, that was meaty. Like all our midfield combinations are meaty. In isolation, they're not bad players. But you're kidding to yourself. In fact, I think you're lying to yourself if you say you're happy for the rest of the season with the midfield options that we have. Partey and Xhaka is hit and miss. There's games where Xhaka looks like the better one, Partey looks like the better one. Sometimes Partey be playing with Odegaard and do well. We say he doesn't need Xhaka. Likewise, sometimes Xhaka is carrying Partey. I don't want to keep doing that. You know, we've got some confirmations. We know we can rely on that back five 9 times out of 10. We know the young players are doing those things. I want to rely in all aspects in the same way, really. Whether that will be the case is another thing, man. Anybody can be trained to score a goal. What we need is a strong sentiment. I don't think anyone can be trained to score a goal, but it's true, man. Arsenal have given the green light to Ainsley Maitland-Niles' departure. The Gunners will respond to Roma in the next 24 hours. Everything moving in the right direction. Keep it moving, Ainsley, please. Hopefully it means we can get a midfielder in, really. I don't know when they're going to let him go and whatnot. Let's see. Is that on Twitter, my guy? You go on Twitter. I wonder what West Ham are going to do now. Ben Rama's gone. Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I can't lie, man. I'm happy that he's going purely because every day there's one of these stories, man. You know, you can't, let's be real, man. Ainsley Maitland-Niles is most known for the penalty thing. Like, he's been here for a while, he ain't done much. I love the guy, but like, we need to move away from these romantic stories, man. Let him, leave your head with your head held high. 24 years of age, go and do your thing in this football thing. But as for us, we're just moving mad. Stop carrying everybody, man. You know, and Arsenal fans, certain man wanted to give El Nene a new deal. People said don't sell Joe Willock when Joe Willock was scoring goals. Oh, what a bad decision. You know, hopefully we can see some progress with Ainsley, and hopefully some departures and whatnot means that we're able to bring people in. You know, again, away from this Vlahovic stuff. You know, if read between the lines. You know, Ainsley's played more in midfield than he has at right back. If he's been allowed to go, there's definitely another one that's been sanctioned. You know, there's been 2 moves. You know, if he's allowed to go, if Torreira's move has been sanctioned, even though he hasn't been at the club, that's around there's an option of 10 million where Ainsley's concerned. There's 50 million offer on the table from Fiorentina. So maybe that guaranteed / potential money might make our spreadsheet and our finances look a bit clearer so that we could take those pennies and apply them to our pounds and go and get a next one. When you see these sort of things happening, hopefully, because again, man, we was light in midfield already. So hopefully Ainsley can go do your thing, playing on the road, playing at Roma. It's a big club. It's a good country. It's a good way of life. You learn how to defend, probably come back a better right back. Jose is going to use you. Hopefully you put yourself in the shop window. The only thing is I don't want an option, If Ainsley has a good season, then fair play. We could sell him. Now, obviously, if Ainsley stinks up the place, then with a year left on his deal, I don't know. You're not going to get those 20 million moves, them 20 million offers, and all of those sort of things you got from Wolves and Everton, respectively. It's quite reactive because we knew this was the reality we're going on. Go and do your thing. You've seen Tomori and Tammy called up for the England squad based on how they've played in Italy. Go and, Southgate likes you. Go and show your diversity and your versatility out there, man. Saka is a pool. Players are genuinely excited by him and want to play with him. I mean, I'm sure when you get down to the base level, players will say, I could play with him and whatnot. But I would think the club's project, the club, the system, the plans of the club, not just buying you what they plan to do in year 1, 2, 3, how your manager sees you is way more important. I'm sure Grealish would want to play with Saka, and they probably bantered about it. Never had any intention of coming to the carpet, nah? If we don't strengthen, we're fucked. For me, if you don't bring midfielders in, it's a myth. I don't know for Fabrizio Romano and who's trustworthy. I'm just looking at things, man. I mean, I think Coutinho could, but I'd stay away from it because it's just too much baggage and too much finances and whatnot. It seems that there's no update on our one. It seems that one's gone cold, man. Oh, you get me? Joe Willock again. Don't get twisted. I hope Joe Willock bads it up and we sit here and say, wow, why wasn't this happening at Arsenal? But, you can't have it both ways, man. And like you said, the Odegaard thing was involved. It made it mad. Do you think Aubameyang needs another crack? And do you think Martinelli can play down the middle up front? Yeah, I think Martinelli can, but he's going to need to develop. He's filling out a bit, but he's going to struggle with his back to goal at times. You look at West Brom last season, he had a good game, but he did. That is my next option for me if we're not bringing in a striker. I would say yes to Aubameyang purely because I just look at how long the season is, and I don't know what's going to happen with Eddie and Nketiah and all of these sort of things and whatnot. But if if moving on from Aubameyang away from a sporting proposition means that I can sit here and listen to you lot and we're not talking about stuff, then I'm here for it because I don't like these dramas, if that makes sense. Like there's a lot to talk about from an Arsenal perspective, let alone these dramas and these soap operas and this guy wants to leave and that guy wants to leave. Like even with Ainsley Maitland-Niles, I like him a lot, but one reason I'm happy he's going is because every minute he's doing social media antics, every minute's lying, and his girl's doing the same as well. So you lot keep it moving, man. There's bare shopping you lot could be doing, man. And as you lot could see here, people, Ainsley Maitland-Niles cleared to leave Arsenal for Roma this month. Arsenal set to respond to Roma's offer of a loan deal with a view to a permanent move in the summer in the next 24 hours. No final agreement yet, but moving in the right direction. Story shortly on Sportsmail, people. So that's the latest on Ainsley Maitland-Niles. And to be fair, you haven't been involved, so it makes sense to just keep it moving, man. Guimaraes would be a dream. Edu, come on, man. You had a good summer. Credit where due. Give us a decent winter, man. I don't want any temporary signings, Kit. We need permanent guys that can be permanent options. Hearing that Inter release Christian Eriksen, would you take him? Nope. Great player, but stay away from that, man. Guimaraes and Zakaria would be the dream personally. Yeah. Bayern Lamptey would be good, but again, you're not getting him in Jan. Definitely not for any sort of deal. Sorry, Torreira wasn't given a fair chance. He probably wasn't, but here we're at. You know, I'm sure Ainsley, Torreira, Aubameyang, these guys might have been done dirty, but fundamentally, this is where we're at. Like, can we move them on? Martinelli almost looks too menacing to take him off the left wing. You're right, but do you not remember? Like, when we used, not you, but we used to sit here, people used to say, what are you talking about Saka playing right wing? Martinelli can't play on the right. Oh my God. Aubameyang this, Aubameyang that. Like, oh man, it's crazy, bro. We'd love to bring back, man. We'd love to bring back Gnabry, but it's a myth, man. Trust me, ain't we not talk too much. Like, you lot go, man. Aziz could have a future here. I don't know. You and Charlie Patino, you know, if you keep developing, it seems like spots are not in the immediate future are opening up. And it seems like he's turned a corner at Portsmouth. Let's give Charlie time, but it seems all right, man. Crazy. Big ups, DG. Vlahovic said he would prefer going someplace else, not the Arsenal. I don't think we should sign players that don't want to be here. To be fair, we don't know what he said. There's all different speculation, but you're right in general. Isaac is average, in my opinion. He might be, but Arsenal, Chelsea, definitely United. I've seen average players become legends and do great things. So as long as you're competent, consistent, and you're reliable, I don't mind. You know, TOMIYASU is average. Let's be real. He's a fantastic 1v1. Great in the air, you know, but as a footballer, he's average. You know, I gas it up a lot. He pings it with his left foot. You're a professional footballer. You should be able to do that, you know. In terms of what he's got in his skill set, I'm not saying he's an average player, but he's average. But what is he? He maximizes what he's good at. He's competent, he's consistent, and he's reliable. So not everybody needs to be a star, man. You know, I would love to have Danny Alves at right back, a prime one, but it is what it is. Greetings from Serbia. Big up the Serbians. Hey, MP, what you doing here, man? Go and find where Vlahovic lives. Chat to his grandma. You know, Granny knows best. Get his grandma to make sure he signs for this. You know, get his grandma to knit a nice little Arsenal sweater. Go and get it done. And while you're there, go and look at Partizan and ask if they've got any half decent players. Because there's certain clubs that if you're in Croatia, you know, you need to be looking at Dynamo Zagreb. If you're in Serbia, you need to be looking at what Partizan are bringing to the table. You know. He's average. You're not listening to what I said. He's a fantastic player. In terms of his skill set is average. You know, there's nothing really that is amazing that gets you out of your seat with TOMIYASU. You know, the same goes for Sagna. But they were competent. They were reliable. Please listen to what he said. You're right. I am deluded, though. Your baby mom know that as well. You get me? Don't make me... yeah, you man can't do the chest thing. Hey. I should back off the top, but there's too much man in here. Greetings from Kenya. Big up yourself. Of course, I'll take Ronaldo at Arsenal, but you're living the dream, man. And this is it, you know. Tommy, no, don't get it twisted. Tomiyasu can go beyond that. Like, again, Tomiyasu's skill set is average. There's nothing he does that's glamorous and outstanding in relation to the modern day, you know. As, again, away from that, fantastic 1v1 defender, you know, marks well. Even his marking at times hasn't been good. For me, the very thing I love about Tomiyasu the most is him in the air. You know, he does a lot of things quite well, but he's not amazing, just like Sagna wasn't, just like Lauren wasn't. But they're all, you know, top-class players for us. Come on now. No, I wouldn't say average, but yeah, man, he's not into, you know, he's definitely one of the best in the league, but like, man, I'm just going to hear the words. What do you think about Douglas Luiz? All right, boy, listen. I think Tomiyasu is an extremely good player, but once again, I didn't say the player is average. I said the skill set is average. If you know, you lot are gonna have to shoot me in the same way you lot were getting on to me at the start of the season, where I said, listen, he's gonna have to offer something going forward a bit more. I'm happy with Tomiyasu. But him, Lauren, Sagna, they were hardly household names. They were competent, consistent, and reliable. Not everybody is going to be amazing. Gary Neville weren't amazing. John O'Shea weren't amazing. Wes Brown, I know fans gassing, weren't amazing. You go and look at half of these people who have won leagues, the bulk of the squad. Of course, you've got the Stardust, you've got the geezers who pattern defensively, and then you've got the Stardust players. In between, you've got reliable players. United had bare average, man. As long as you're competent, consistent, and reliable, there's bare players that are above average, that have above average ability, but they're not consistent, so they're shit. Where do you scout in Bosnia? I don't know, broski, but if you're in Bosnia, do the thing, man. We need competition for Tommy eventually, you know. I would like someone who has different skill sets to Tomiyasu. Obviously, I would like someone as good defensively with Tomiyasu, but if we could get someone a bit better going forward, you know, I think Tomiyasu, there's a lot to come from him, especially psychologically. At times he looks, and he's kind of said, they kind of said it because he spoke about how his teammates have helped him not to psych himself out of games. I still, not humble isn't the right word, but still looks like he's finding his bearings and whatnot. I would take Dennis Zakaria, but I'm not really as hot as I was. I swear I did a video a couple of years ago. I'm not as hot as I used to be on that. Anyone's better than Bellerin. Bellerin weren't average. Bellerin was shit. Bellerin weren't average. You lot's version of average and mine is completely different, man. You lot will see player ratings and cry about 6s and 7s. It's because we've suffered for so long in that position that we gas up Tomiyasu. Come on. I didn't say nothing's brilliant about... listen, I think I've made myself clear, man. I'm not going to fight you lot for your opinions, and I hope you lot stop trying to fight me for mine. Like, I didn't say he's average. I said the skill set is average. And I wouldn't say he's brilliant at the other stuff, because there's been a couple goals him and Saka have switched off, but he's a quality player, man. And again, all Arsenal need to do is look at the fullbacks. You know, I hope Tomiyasu goes in the same thing. You know, you look at Sagna, you look at Lauren, none of them were world-class and amazing and all these things. You know, I hope Tomiyasu can improve, because I don't know, maybe I don't think Ramsdale and Tomiyasu have to worry about being asked for ID, but them lot move, like, you would really forget that Tomiyasu is 22 and Ramsdale's 23, just the way they behave. Like, for me, I know the experienced players are defined as Xhaka, Partey, Lacazette, Aubameyang, so on and so forth. But for me, I include Ramsdale, Ben White, Tomiyasu. Like, these men are more experienced than, you know, they're more experienced than a couple of others, and they've got a decent one. They've got a decent level of experience in comparison to Smith Rowe, Martinelli, and the rest of the guys, man. But listen, people are going to see that as me hating on Tomiyasu. I'll take that, you know. Bellerin could, at a point, could run bare fast, but he can't do bare stuff. Ainsley Maitland-Niles, cool as you like under pressure, not good enough. Like, bro, as long as he's reliable, it is what it is. But anyways, moving on from that, I don't have to be correct. DG is correct. Tomiyasu does his job. It's because we've had players before that couldn't. I don't think Tomiyasu is amazing at anything. I think he's an amazing player. I love him, but yeah, man. If you're not a fullback, I can't lie, I'm not entertaining the conversation from you lot, man. Watkins, bro, I'm not against it, but... And you know what? Out of all the strikers we've probably been linked with, Watkins is probably the most adaptable. He can play off the left. He can play through the middle. He can do the pressing thing. He can link up play. I don't know if if he'll cost an arm and a leg. Do you think Tomiyasu can walk into any team in the Prem? I don't think he plays for. I don't think he plays for Liverpool. I don't think he plays for City. I think he's. He definitely plays for Arsenal. He definitely plays for United. Reece James, I don't think he gets in there. All right, cool. So Chelsea, Liverpool, City, I don't think he plays for them. Every other club, yeah, man, I see no reason why Tomiyasu can't play in it. He definitely plays. Wan-Bissaka can't talk to him. Tomiyasu can actually control the ball. But stand out, you could play ahead of Lamptey at Brighton if you want to use that. He definitely is better than Emerson Royal at Spurs. Yeah, man. Apart from this, I don't think he starts ahead of Reece James. I think like I've said, he's a top 5 right back in the league. I don't think he's better than Reece James or starts ahead of him. I do think there's elements he does better than Reece James. Just like I think there's elements of the whole fullback package Reece James and Tomiyasu do ahead of Trent. But I just think what Trent's good at, he's way better than you, man. Like I think Reece James is probably more of an all-rounded defender. But in the modern game, not Wan-Bissaka, Trent Alexander-Arnold is an amazing fullback, and this is why I always say I think Trent Alexander-Arnold is a world-class fullback. I don't think he's a world-class defender. I don't think he's good enough covering runners. I think he's not good enough tracking and all of these sort of things, people really. But he's a quality player, so. Yeah, man, I think only them man can talk to Tomiyasu, really. I think there's only 3 teams he doesn't play for, really. Like he can't talk to Trent. He's a better defender than Trent, but that system, he could probably do it, but he can't do it to the level Klopp demands, and he's not getting them assists. I just don't think he's better than Reece James. And Cancelo is Cancelo, in it. He's probably the best in the league, really, in terms of the all-round package. I know he can't, but he scores good goals. He don't lick in them free kicks and do them Trent things more time. But yeah, man. Unpopular opinion, Aubameyang is average. Again, Aubameyang can be average. Historically, he's had a decent career, blood. Neves or Calvin Phillips? Neves, but I'm a fan of Calvin Phillips still. I can't even lie to you. Look, I think Calvin Phillips is a baller, but he seems to want to stay at Leeds, man. DG, do you think the best league in the world deserves better refs? Come on, 100%, 100%, 100%. You man are violating. There's only 277 likes and there's 500 odd of you locked in. What's going on there, man? All right, man, you lot doing the guy dirty. Unexpected high bills all around. Young old heads, 100%. Who, in your opinion, is a brilliant right back? Don't think there is a brilliant right back in today's day. Well, no, they're all brilliant, bro. Like Tomiyasu is brilliant. Trent is brilliant. Reece James brilliant. Cancelo brilliant. I think they all say like they are brilliant players. Don't misunderstand me. The thing is, what I like with Tomiyasu is he's clearly knowing that I need to pattern going forward. But again, I like that, but it's a bit like the Lukaku thing. You can try and get more general play out of Lukaku, but you're never. It is what it is, sort of thing. You're not going to get much of a tune out of it. That's kind of where you're at, sort of thing. If that makes sense. That would be good for the fullbacks union, really. Fullback union, Tomiyasu. I think we'll include that 100%. Keep everything coming, people. Again, you lot make the live streams what they are. Without you lot's conversation, opinions, talking points, and all that jazz, it'll be dead. Arsenal general opinions. Obviously, tomorrow it's not up yet, but I'll be doing a watch along for Chelsea Spurs, and obviously we'll preview Arsenal Liverpool, and there'll be a watch along on Thursday. Like I keep saying, Douglas Luiz would be good, man. Trust. That's all I kept. The thing is, what I love about Tomiyasu, he just wants to do his job. I can tell. Maybe it's the culture thing. Maybe it's going to Italy, but he just wants to do his job, and you can tell he wants to learn. He wants to improve. You can say he's a quick learner. Complacency can kill everyone, but it doesn't look like complacency will be a problem for him. It almost looks like he's a bit too humble. Like he don't really, not that he don't believe in himself, but yeah, man. What do you think of Isaac Baller but myth, man? Watkins is a poor man's lacquer. You're definitely not hearing Tomiyasu disrespect. And everybody listening thinks they're hearing Tomiyasu disrespect needs to clear out them dirty earwax. Like I always say, I don't tell you what to think, just think. And I've always told you, like, one thing I hate in content creation, by all means, criticize my opinion. Don't criticize something I didn't say. Like I gave you, like, if I say I like apple juice, don't tell me I'm oppressing oranges and I'm a danger to oranges and all those things. Why are we speaking about Pogba like Emerson Royal or Emerson in the soil? Bit of a harsh one. I think Tomiyasu is a right back as well as a centre half, man. Bro, everybody starts ahead of Wan-Bissaka, bro. DJ, of all our first team players, who do you think walks into other big six teams? It's debatable, but I would say, not really. I'd say Smith Rowe, Saka. I think the coaches would fuck with Odegaard, but Smith Rowe, Saka, Martinelli, Tierney, Tomiyasu. Not the Gabriel of getting the red card. Gabriel. That's about it. I mean, Alisson's technically injured, so, I mean, Ramsdale plays at Liverpool, but it's a myth for Ramsdale. Yeah, man. Brother, where did I say Tomiyasu is not a good player, bro? Where have you seen me say that? I've just said the man's wonderful. Please fucking listen or fuck off, please. I'm really, them things there annoy me. Do not tell me what I didn't say. Come on, man. Ainsley's gone, bro. Nuno Mendes, I like him a lot. But below a 7. So what about Tomiyasu at Brighton? Man are trying to fight me for agreeing with you, lot. Fuck it, oh. Bloody hell, blood. You man, oh, Tomiyasu, you said something. You lot shut the fuck up, man. Tomiyasu is a quality professional, consistent and determined. People practice selective hearing. See, as I'm finding out every day, man. You're trying to see us take Sanchez in Jan. Why not, man? Listen, I think it's jargon, innit? Until I've always said, I don't believe none of these rumors until people are holding the Arsenal shirt, taking the pictures. Mikel Arteta is doing the handshake. And as I said, Arsenal fans start following planes and guarding companies and, they see a certain shopping bag. So they was at that shop. Somehow they get access to the CCTV and they see a new player. Until I see all of that. Osimhen or Vlahovic, who are you picking? Vlahovic, I can't lie. But Osimhen, I like him, man. Until he come off with his injuries doing his thing, man. Tomiyasu's definitely there for a player of the season with Arsenal. How much do you get Neto out of Wolves? I don't know. You'd have to talk to them. Who do you rate more, Jesus or Martial? Right now, probably Gab Jesus because Martial is moving mad, man. Charles, some people need some extra high bills, blood. Not Vlahovic ain't coming in Jan, man. Bro, when the time comes, Arsenal fans, boy, they should all. A lot of Arsenal fans. Do you remember that show Cheaters? I think Peter Guns is. How ironic is that? It's the presenter. That's what Arsenal fans should be doing. And I'm happy with our fullbacks, man. You're right. Tommy is a great defender, but not as such a great fullback. Great fullback, just meaty going forward. Just like the opposite is true for Trent. I hear you, man. Spurs game going to be tough without Partey and Gabriel. I swear Gabriel's back for that. Partey, boy. Elise is a baller. Man can't be on to me. It's just, be on to me all you want, Like I always say, criticize my opinions, blood. But, don't tell me I didn't say something. Like, if I didn't say something, you can't get on to me. I never said that. Like, man is saying he's not average and I'm hating on Tomiyasu, brother. I'm sure Tomiyasu has a girlfriend. I don't think he's looking for one. So for the man out there, calm down, man. You'll be the first to turn on him. And you did turn on him at times. The Brighton game, the couple of other shaky moments, man, we're saying certain things, man. I can't lie. Tomiyasu could have an option as a centre-back. I understand that he's very reserved. He's more of an old-school fullback. There is a debate for Ben White going to right back and him going to the centre. But I don't know, man. Seko Fofana, someone we spoke about already. He's quite tidy on the ball. Can put a foot in. Wouldn't mind him. Do you think Lokonga can do Partey's role? Yeah. But just in general, He needs to do things quicker, take things in less touches. He wants too much of the ball, and I don't believe. I know he said he likes to play 8. I don't think you have a future at the top level as an 8. I think you're a 6 every day of the week / box to box midfielder. Do you think with Xhaka we can progress? I don't. Well, we're fourth right now, maybe, but I don't think the progress can be significant. I don't think. I think you're always going to see 6 of one, half a dozen of the other when Xhaka's in the midfield. I do think Xhaka's the sort of guy who'll play good for 10 games. Out of 10 games, he'll play good for 9. The one he has as a shambles highlights it. And I also think fans aren't necessarily fair to Xhaka, because I don't like all of this. Pardon me, fans are almost, it's like, according to your agenda, when Arsenal lose or something happens, it's all his fault, or it's all his fault. I'm not saying you can't say you had a part to play or whatever, but people will just focus on Xhaka and then let Gabriel go scot-free. I'm not saying you need to get onto Gabriel and all of these sort of things, but arguably, if the roles were reversed and Gabriel gave away the penalty and Xhaka got the red, who's going to catch more heat? Rightly or wrongly, who's going to catch more heat? Where both were stupid, shouldn't have hands on him in the box. Gabriel let him passion get ahead of him. But what would have been said? And for me, again, Gabriel's my guy, but I think we can react from a penalty. We could react to the penalty. Even when the penalty was scored, Laporte started bugging out straight away. I think 11 against 11, we might lose, but it probably would have been a madness. And we had 10 men. It was great commitment, but you did see City just went up a level. We looked tired. Again, Kevin De Bruyne had time and space to look up. Rodri was a free runner. Maybe if we have 11 players on the pitch, something might not happen. I can't do ifs and buts. That's just a consideration. The red card makes it difficult. It's hard enough playing with 11 players against City because they're so good off the ball. So, yeah, but fundamentally, it's another game against City where Xhaka was playing all right until that point. But that's all people are going to remember. And you're going to get this with Xhaka. You're going to get good or bad moments, and hot and cold, as I call it. And we've got rid of some, but we've got a lot of these ballers, I'm not saying Lacazette is like Xhaka, but Lacazette's hot and cold. Everything's going right at the club. But if we weren't picking up 3 points, everybody would know he's only bagged 3 times. Pepe's been hot and cold. Aubameyang's been hot and cold. Historically, Leno was hot and cold. Half the team was, and this is where I like Tomiyasu, Ramsdale, Gabriel. I know Gabriel, you're gonna have bad games and do dumb shit. Pardon my French. Saka and Smith Rowe and Martinelli starting to bring it in. We're getting some. When you're consistent, you give us confidence. And this is why I like Tomiyasu. I always say, you need competence, you need confidence, and you need consistency before anything. If you haven't got them things, it's a myth. And again, it's easy to be confident now with Arsenal because everything's going relatively right. The fact you're losing and the fans are doing all this, when it turns and fans get negative, not that I want that to be the case. Only certain players stand up to be counted. I know my number 7 did. I know my number 10 does. I know whenever Martinelli does. To be fair, I know Lacazette does. Respectfully, Xhaka might play bad, but I never have to doubt his integrity. I can't say that about, and obviously there's a couple of others, but I can't say that about everyone, or I couldn't say that about everyone historically. But it is what it is. Big up DG. Until I see Eddie's wearing his blue suit on Arsenal's website, Eddie signing is a myth. I hear it. Arthur Link seemed to have gone away, but yeah, I'd bring him on loan and whatnot. See how he gets on, and then include a permanent option because he seems like a man that I can't go off the media, but he looks like he's on the Neymar thing. He looks like he enjoys a party and things now. Party boy, money, young, playing for Arsenal, London. Madueke would be a solid signing, man. Bro, Tomiyasu brings a lot to the table, man. Cute mind is he's at Atalanta, innit? And it seems like them hype things is died down now, really. I mean, I haven't seen too much of the Celtic guy, just here and there. I haven't got an informed opinion, my guy, Antonov. So I don't know, man. Will Arteta be on the touchline on Thursday? I mean, surely he's done his COVID protocol thing. So yeah, man. Do you think we'll get past Liverpool in the cup? I hope so. And that's it. I mean, this is a territory you go in, man. You know, there is scapegoating, not necessarily of Xhaka. People got agendas. You know, everybody loves Smith Rowe now. When they were calling Lacazette lack of threat, when they were calling Smith Rowe Smith ruins goals or something, when they were getting onto his final ball, what was it against Brighton or something like that? He could have played in Pepe, got a lot of hate. Man used to get at Saka, you know. Fans always love to rewrite history. Right now, everybody loves you. And this is why I need competence, confidence, and consistency from my players. It's difficult when man turn on you. You know, if Aubameyang was slapped in the team right now, no one believes him, man. You know, you probably don't even believe in yourself, but you need to find it. You need to find it deep in your heart. Because again, if you're playing for big clubs and challenging things, there's times it's going to get toxic. Times you go through the tunnel and you don't want to be there. It's not always going to be nice and rosy. That's not how life works. It's not how life works. I think Odegaard's 30. I mean, it's no coincidence I'm a fan of Odegaard. I've been gassing up Odegaard's thing for a while now. I think this season, up until he started scoring, he was up in it. Still think there's a long way to go. I mean, I still want to go up an even another level. But yeah, man, I'm happy with Odegaard. And at 30 million, that's Arsenal have made a lot of stupid signings, bro. If you can't make on a 23-year-old, 24 now, if you can't make your 30 million euros back on him, then you're smoking the most special of food. You're not smoking the right stuff. You're smoking a Mazza in it. That's the same where, God forbid, if Tomiyasu just I don't know, if Bellerin put a spell on him and he turned shit, you can make your 60 million pound back. You might have to lie to him, man, but you can make it back. The only one really in the summer, you're looking Ramsdale can make it back. The only one that was really probably a risk, you're probably not going to make 50 million back on Ben White. And that's where I'm happy with Arsenal now. It looks like there's get-out plans because signings do go wrong, you know. But yeah, I think Odegaard's good, man. I think he's good. I think there's a problem now and a healthy problem in that. I just wish you could play 12 players, innit, Carl? Smith Rowe, I'd imagine Smith Rowe starts against Liverpool. But yeah, man. Xhaka has mistakes in him. That's my point. You know, Xhaka will have 10 good games, 20 bad games. He's hot and cold. You're going to get what you're going to get with these guys. And it's not a strong foundation, respectfully. He's just, the thing is, the mistakes are one thing, the habits, the bad habits, like whether it's a pen or not. The wickedest thing, if you watch the game again, Xhaka's tried to do the right thing. Bernardo Silva's are marked, but it's just that at 25, 26, however old he is, he's older than that, to have your hands on someone, to lose your head, to do all of these things, as much as I think he's all right, I think his squad player stuff, I think you're always going to see all these things, man. Bro, the blame game with Arsenal fans can be ridiculous at times. Some people need to let go of their agendas. Bro, man are not loyal to football clubs. I'm sure United fans, Chelsea fans, Liverpool fans, City fans, if there's anything to moan about, would find the same thing. It's like certain people just already know who they're gonna blame for the defeat. Even sometimes last year and the year before, there was 9 times out of 10 Willian was playing shit, but there was sometimes Willian and Bellerin were not the worst players on the pitch. They weren't the best either. But if you listen to how fans were moving, it was all them, man. It is what it is. Like it's sad. And I just feel with these experienced players, that's what's more concerning. If the young players were doing these things, then it is what it is. I just think you can't rely on Xhaka, man. Like that. Big up G1. Been hiding. Did you lot win? You lot get 3 points? If Arteta beats Klopp and possibly Conte/Tuchel in the final, we still want a better manager. I mean, Arteta's doing his thing now. I mean, I've seen you give good, tough games to these guys. I've seen you beat Klopp before, and so wouldn't say that. But yeah, man, I can't lie. If Ten Hag's available, then we got a decision to make. I mean, it was terrible at the start of the season. It's amazing now. I mean, he's got 18 months on his deal. Let's see what we're saying come May. I don't think they had to rely on football gods. If you look at the goal again, you know, tired or not, we've played stupid games and won stupid prizes. We're letting Kevin De Bruyne get his head up. You know, we're losing a battle against Laporte. We're reacting. You know, Rob Holding's the wrong side of Rodri. You know, we did stupid stuff for the penalty. Again, as much as it's hard done by the refs, but we played a part. Sometimes you've got to take accountability in life, man. Are you even at Arsenal fans? Where's the plural? Mohammed, man. Your nonsense stopped you from spelling proper English. Come on, man. Pattern up, man. DG, what do you think Smith Rowe needs to improve the most in his game? He needs to learn how to control games like Odegaard. Yeah, that's it. I mean, that's the next progressive step. Is like it's the Smith Rowe show. I mean, you still want to see him, on the half turn and all these things, but you want him to kind of control the tempo of a game. I would say the main thing is just keep showing you can get goals and assists. Because if you end up with 10 and 10 in the league, which you and Saka look like you might be on course to do, you have to prove you can do it again. Now, even the experienced players, Vardy's had goal droughts, Kane's on one, Aubameyang's on one. You will struggle. You're not going to get 10 and 10 every year for the rest of your life, but that's the territory you need to go in and then prove you can do it again. Because I won't say Smith Rowe is an unknown entity because he was involved last season, but he still kind of is unknown and teams are starting to clock him. Look at Saka. First, it was no one marking him. Then it's two, man. Now the whole team is standing next to Saka, and it is what it is if he's able to do a thing. So I would say naturally, man. I don't know what a realistic Xhaka replacement is. DG, if we're letting Ainsley Maitland-Niles leave, surely we need two bodies in midfield. I'd be inclined to believe we bring in some midfielders, but I don't know, man. I really don't know. I mean, I'm cool with Smith Rowe because, sometimes we've over-relied on the guy. So if he's holding the bench for 1 or 2 games, it is what it is. I would love Smith Rowe to play, but I want to be in a position what we're moving into where a couple other players can play, couple form goes out the window, it is what it is, sort of thing. And obviously, you've seen Deeney and Smith Rowe probably unlucky at the times to lose their spaces because they were injured at the time. And then obviously they've had to wait. But yeah, man, we're nearly at 400 likes, allegedly raise it. Ten Hag and Overmars will take us to the promised land from Arteta's foundation. Smash the like button. We should be closing in on 500. I appreciate that. Aggressive high press from Stylish and South London's finest. Some South London duos. Let's hope you're better. In fact, they are a better duo than Jadon Sancho and Wan-Bissaka. South London failing, man. I'm just trying to bring G1 to the ring, man. I'm trying to gold him, but he's not biting. Mixed sauce. Winning the leagues, they said. Crazy. Would be nice if Martinelli banged that striker so we could fit him on the left wing. It would be, but again, we have to give a man time. You have to give a man time. Sneaky feeling we move for Frank de Jong in the summer. Would love that, but FIFA settings. I've got him in Football Manager. Speaking of Football Manager, make sure you lot are all here at 4 p.m, folks, because we're going to be playing that. We are going to be playing that. Is there any other? Let's have one last little surveillance for some Arsenal news, folks. We've spoken about Ainsley. We started speaking about Xhaka. He has no relevance. But Ainsley, Aubameyang, Vlahovic, Torreira, these guys that we've been speaking about that form the basis of this live stream have been discussed. We already know Marseille are looking at, man. But we'll have to see, man. I want Emil as an 8 and buy Showman on that left. You have to let him develop, man. Smith Rowe holding up the pride of South London is true. Real South Londoners. I did big up everyone who was on Twitch. Tomori cost 12 million and you get more. Tomiyasu cost 12 million and you get more going forward and maybe even defensively. You 100% get more defensively from Tomiyasu than Wan-Bissaka. Don't sit here and do the maybe thing. He defends better. Wan-Bissaka slides and you think it's messed. Are you mad? Tomiyasu actually knows how to defend. Wan-Bissaka just speeding on the pitch, speeding off it, chasing his first touch. How you got more horrible step overs than Adama Traore? Get out of here, man. Crystal Palace fleeced you. From you heard Wan-Bissaka used to be a fullback and we're all baffled. Should have known that was a myth. Oh, United still talking about signings. You man love the signings, FC. I can't wait to see the photoshopped things of Ronaldo and Joe Blogs and whatever. Be very afraid. I'm sure João Moutinho and Co were afraid yesterday. Myth. I'm just getting them all out, man. Man said maybe, bro. Get out of here. Man said maybe, blood. Get out of here, man. Get out of here. Bro, Palace finessed them. Leicester finessed them. Fucking Dortmund finessed them. All of a sudden, Sancho's dripper's gone. No, I'm playing. I like Sancho, man. We play Thursday, but you man lost. You man were doing 888 sport only to be 8th or 9th for you. In fact, no, by God's grace, you're still 7th. Game in hand, FC. I'm on you lot. G1 is my guy, but you're always on the verbal thing when United win. You're trying to be humble now. I'm not here with it. Interesting stat, DG. We are one of only 2 sides in the Premier League not to concede a corner. True, but we still conceded some stupid goals. That's a good look. And again, I guess one thing I've liked this season is we've always looked and said, oh, Arteta's coaching staff, all of this. You're seeing the work with the set pieces clearly on both ends of the pitch. I wouldn't say we're quite the top goal scorers from set pieces anymore now, but we're still probably up there defensively, as you said. Obviously, I don't know what he did or didn't do against City, but you know, Albert, he did all right on the touchline. Really, he might be the real brains behind it. So obviously, as fans, we're not at London Coley. We don't know what they're doing. So it's good to see that, really and truly, if I'm honest with you. So yeah, man. Do you rate Semedo? No. Oh, the season isn't done. But you, man, were winning the league. Arsenal was getting relegated. I hear that. Varane probably thinking, what the fuck have I got into? DG, do you rate Semedo? I think he's a great right back. No, not really. Going forward, United made him look good. I used to, but he had to be on fraud watch. Just about done the thing against Burnley. Remember, Saka miffed himself. He's become a myth. Ever since that girl hotted him up, you know, on the socials, he's falling off, man. That man there do balloons, man. Shit guy. One bloody Masaka. Aaron Wan-Bissaka. I tell you what, sub coaches could get more out of the players, but bloody hell, you're not going to sort out that first touch. Bro, City keep dodging bullets, you know. City were going to go for Fred. United tried to pip them to it. You see what happens. They dodged the bullet with Ronaldo. I'm trolling at this point. They've dodged enough bullet. Alexis Sanchez. But hey, the man there thought Alexis was going to do the Van Persie thing. It's a myth. Who? I know Ethan Lard is, but who's that? Another one of them overrated youngsters from Carrington. Rashford better than Mbappe. Fucking hell. Greenwood better than Martinelli. Bloody hell. You know, Bruno Fernandes starts at City. I'll never forget that. Get out of here, bro. I mean, what? He packed us. I've seen Ben Brereton and them sort of man pack us against Forest. Man want flowers for packing Arsenal. Brentford's first season in the league, they packed us. Come on now. You brought back Ronaldo just for that. Fair enough. Nah, even Les is a good player, man. It's just all's fair in love and war, man. All's fair in love and war. Bro, United fans got no shame. They're twerking for Liverpool. They were twerking for City. The man there they're falling off, man. They're falling off. But anyways, away from the bands, people, that was a good way to end the stream. I'm going to get out of here purely because, can't lie, I'm hungry, man. I'm hungry. It's time to eat. I'm back again at 4 p.m. to play Football Manager with you guys. In fact, last question. Bro, we got packed by a 37-year-old and a manager with no qualifications, and Arsenal are still ahead of you. So what does that say? Do you know how shit you have to be for Arsenal to be ahead of you in the league right now? You're right, it's not finished though. Shout out UG1 and your big money signings, man. Jadon Sancho was right when he said scary hours. Ronaldo was right when he said he wanted a challenge. I hear it. Maybe he is the real GOAT. Fair play. Anyways, yo, DG, Man City have that one guy in the boardroom that asks is the transfer team. Are you sure? You trust me, they need that. Nah, G1's my guy. It's all banter, man. It's all banter. He'll be back when we go through our little thing. So, yeah, man, you got to get them in, man. We're at 394 likes, people. If you've hit the like button, God bless you. If you haven't, then God bless you same way. But I do hope you get an unexpected high bill. Who's Messi? He's not even got the best left foot in the world, blood. Bukayo Saka and that. Booker T at right back. On that note, I'm going to keep it moving, man, before this gets silly, man. You lot, it's always a pleasure to be here. You know, Arsenal fans, non-Arsenal fans, banter, serious talk. We've had a lot of banter towards the end, but we have spoke about Arsenal's transfer news. We have just spoke about Arsenal's general opinions, and fundamentally, it's been fantastic. If you haven't already, make sure you're hitting the like button. Make sure you're following on Twitch and subscribing, especially if you've got Amazon Prime for ad-free viewing. Again, it's a pleasure to be here with you lot. Once again, Happy New Year. You lot stay blessed, stay safe. Back again 11:30 a.m. tomorrow on YouTube. We'll be doing Chelsea Tottenham watch along in the afternoon. Thursday's Arsenal against Liverpool, of course. So content on the weekend. We've got FA Cup. So yeah, man, you lot stay blessed, stay safe, enjoy whatever's left of your morning, afternoon, evening, or night. I love and leave you lot and catch you lot soon.
Because you always use that active red flag defending. I think it's like